Aw, animals.
Sorry, human. A hunter in New Mexico nearly crossed over to the great beyond after his doggy best friend pulled the trigger on him. Sonny Gilligan had gone to hunt jackrabbits near Las Cruces on Thursday, taking his dogs Charlie, Scooter, and Cowboy with him. While in the back seat, lab-rottweiler mix Charlie got his foot on Gilligan's shotgun. When he slipped and fell off the seat, his paw caught the trigger, causing the firearm to shoot. The bullet tore through the driver's seat straight into Gilligan's back, breaking some ribs and shattering his collarbone. Amazingly, the 74-year-old managed to call for help. The lucky man had to undergo a bunch of surgeries, but is now on the way to recovery. Still, all he could think about was his boys. Poor Charlie and his brothers were sent to doggy jail, aka Animal Services, after the shooting, but have since been busted out by Gilligan's human son. Gilligan says he's forgiven Charlie for very nearly sending him to the afterlife, adding that it really was just a bizarre freak accident. Animals do the darndest things.
Labrador gives birth to 8 pups at Tampa Airport. Service Labradors Ellie and Nugget were waiting to board their flight to Philly along with their humans earlier this week at Tampa Airport when suddenly their travel party got unexpectedly bigger. See, Ellie was pregnant at the time, but her humans had no idea she was about to pop. The mama-to-be went into labor on the concourse and soon started pushing out puppy after puppy. Medical staff from Tampa Fire Rescue were on hand to help welcome the baby labs into the world. According to Fox 13, Ellie gave birth to 7 boys initially, and then finally their sister. Needless to say, the 10 canines and their humans missed their flight. Fox 13 reports they'll have to find new means of travel as airlines don't allow newborn pups to fly. According to the Miami Herald, all 10 labs and their 2 humans will be driving 1,000 miles to Philly instead.
That's scary. CBS News reports a jaguar from the Audubon Zoo in New Orleans escaped and ended up killing 6 animals. Zoo officials said the 3-year-old male jaguar escaped its habitat because its roof may have been compromised and opened up an escape route. The incident took place at around 7:20 a.m. before the zoo was open. After escaping, the jaguar, named Valerio, reportedly attacked 4 alpacas, a fox, and an emu. Unfortunately, they didn't survive. Valerio also attacked 2 foxes and an alpaca, but they are expected to recover. Fox News reports team members from the zoo sedated the jaguar within a few minutes with tranquilizers. According to a press release from the Audubon Zoo, they plan to conduct a thorough investigation of how this happened. Squirrel gets in the holiday mood by feasting on pricey chocolates. An American squirrel was caught on camera nabbing expensive chocolates and some lip balm from a Jersey family's porch. Every year, the Boudreaux family leaves out a holiday basket for delivery people on their doorstep. They stuff it with candy, snacks, tissues, hand warmers, and other treats. Michelle Boudreaux said they never had any issues until this year when she noticed the basket was raided shortly after she placed it outside. She said the thief was only taking the expensive treats, including 25 Ghirardelli chocolate squares. The family put up a hidden camera to see if they could catch the perpetrator in action. They were more than a little surprised to see it was actually a super chunky squirrel. Michelle then later actually ran into Chunk mid-heist and watched him clear out their chocolate yet again. Oh yeah, he also took a Carmex lip balm. The chocolate has now been placed in a jar, but Michelle still leaves out squirrel treats for Chunk too.
Polar bears doing what polar bears do. What else is a man to do when he enters a wild animal's domain and it acts like a wild animal? Shoot it, of course. NBC News reports a cruise was at the Arctic Circle to take some tourists sightseeing. What typically occurs then is that the cruise ship guard disembarks the ship to check if there are any dangers in the area. This particular cruise ship guard, however, failed to notice one polar bear in the vicinity, and was surprised when the bear followed its instincts and behaved as bears do, injuring the man's head in the process. The second cruise guard who was accompanying the first then opened fire, all in the name of self-defense. Thankfully, the first guard wasn't too badly injured and everyone else remained safe, but the polar bear is dead, merely because it behaved as it normally does in its natural habitat. Hapag-Lloyd Cruises issued a statement apologizing for the incident and said the intervention was needed to protect the life of the attacked person. Most people on social media, though, were outraged, with comedian Ricky Gervais and longtime animal activists chiming in, blaming humans for being morons for trespassing into areas where the polar bears reside.
Is this the beginning of the end? Residents of an Ohio town are seriously spooked after raccoons in the neighborhood began exhibiting some very strange behavior. One man was with his dog in broad daylight when he spotted a raccoon approaching. It stood on its hind legs and bared its teeth before collapsing into a comatose state. It got back up moments later, but the man didn't stick around to figure out if it was rabid, undead, or something else entirely. Smart. Police reported receiving 14 other complaints in Youngstown over 3 weeks, and have put down all the animals, which were likely suffering from distemper and not rabies. Distemper is a viral disease that causes coughing and seizures in raccoons and causes them to lose their fear of humans. Pets and other animals may be infected, so it's best to steer clear of any weird critters, though it's at least not transmissible to humans. Let's just hope it stays that way. No one needs the walking dead at their doorstep. The world is stressful enough already.
Penguin fight. A zoo in Denmark saw some crazy drama unfold after a gay penguin couple kidnapped a chick from its straight parents. According to a zookeeper, Mom had gone for her daily swim and left the baby with Dad. But pretty soon, Dad wanted a dip too and left the little penguin to fend for itself. Seeing the parents were neglectful, a pair of male penguins thought maybe they could do better and took the chick for themselves. The trio were a family for all of one day before the real parents came looking for their kid and confronted the pair for their baby snatching. The fellas didn't want to give up without a fight, so zookeepers eventually had to step in. In the end, Mom and Dad got their chick back, but the same-sex couple wasn't left high and dry either. They now have an egg from a female unable to care for it, so it's a win-win. Kidnapping may not work in the human world, but apparently things pan out when you're a gay penguin couple with a lot of love to give.